Greetings, King.
Greetings, Alafia.
Welcome to another edition of Mental Rolodeck
Uh,
Live. Today's topic, title, same difference, my views,
uh,
how I view the world, basically. And we're just gonna sit here and
chop it
have
up.
conversation, chop it up, have conversation from an elder to a youngster. You know, that's how we're gonna do it right now.
Yeah.
How you feeling, King? How's your
Hey man, fantastic and amazing. The ancestors, the things they're doing. I'm feeling well for a 74-year-old man. And uh, what can I say? I'm above ground. The ground is not walking on top of me. So I'm old school. And like I said, but I'm glad we're having this conversation because I've been trying to have this with some other young men, and we're trying to find a way to bridge the gap, right? Seeing they
Mhm.
saying that there's a gap between the old school and our young people. At some point in time, we have to come to a point of conversation to understand the views. And I would like to know from you, young King, uh, where you are age wise and your experiences. How do you see the world from your perspective? Can you give us an idea how you up to through your experiences, education, uh, how do you view
um
the world?
Um, that's a very broad question. And the reason why I say that because I have a multitude of views on how I look at the world. Um,
Yeah,
my first one of my first
well,
standpoint is
many reason books. Somebody,
we're in
yeah, tell me, yeah.
we're in a system
Mm-hmm.
we call society, right?
Mm-hmm.
And within society, everything is rigid. Everybody is programmed.
Most definitely.
Everybody is on a hamster wheel,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm aware of the world, so my views change from day to day. Like for instance, I view everyone, right, being a part of the same source
Right.
energy. Everyone, but not everyone. When I say
Right.
everyone, I'm talking about everyone that's copper colored,
Okay.
aboriginal, the
Right.
original beings, like same
Right.
energy,
Right.
right? And the human aspect of me viewing the world or society per se, not the world. The world is beautiful. The world is Mother Nature. The world is diverse. The world is love. The world is flowing on a constant access,
Right.
you know, never changing, you know. But the way I view society, sometimes it saddens me.
Okay.
Other times I laugh at it, and at other times I'm disappointed
Mhm.
because I can see the individuals that can't see themselves. But at the same time, it's for me to see them without judgment,
Uh-huh.
right? Because it doesn't matter what they're doing, it doesn't mean that they're incorrect. It's just their level of frequency at that
Uh-huh.
particular time,
Right.
you know. And the wider your frequency gets, the more in tune you are, the more aligned you are with the universe. And that's that's a very broad spectrum. Like you got people that believe in the church. I for one, I'm not a religious person. I'm very spiritual.
Okay.
um I believe in my ancestors. I believe um everything we seek is within us.
Mm-hmm.
I believe our ancestors within us, the 3.7 trillion cells that's
Mm-hmm.
within me is as vast as the stars
I
within the
say.
sky,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
I look at this as an experience, and we're here to consume whether information or light. And once we fulfill all the light that we require at this particular time, either we go back or we come back again
Ah.
if it's unfinished. Um, I view life differently than most. Most people would think there's a Adam, there's a Eve. I am the person that always asks,
Hmm.
who was he speaking to when he said, "Let us create man in our own image"? So I for one always question certain things, and with these questions, it has caused complications in a lot of relationships because everybody rather be normal. Being normal disgusts me. Being normal is boring to me.
Hmm. What is normal?
Normal is to follow the regular programming.
Ashe.
It's to watch the same shows. It's to eat the same food. It's to sit on the same couch. It's to drive the same car. It's to live in a box, walk in a box, watch a box, all this stuff, bank in a box, and so on and so forth. It's the same hamster wheel.
Okay.
You
So,
know,
so to you, it seemed that normal is what everybody doing in the same situation at the same time, basically the same process, and can't get outside the
absolutely,
box. Can't get outside the box.
absolutely.
You know, it's amazing to hear you. So, how was you able to break free from that day-to-day humdrum, merry-go-round, hamster wheel, you name it? You know, the old clickety clack. So, how did you break free from it?
For me, it was a couple near death experiences.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I've almost died 3 times, and within the midst of dying these 3 times, I always hear a voice. It's not your time yet. What
Mm,
are you doing? And then I realized I wasn't one to fall for the partyings or the one to be chasing the woman or the one to be chasing certain things. Like for me, the love was music. Like music does something to me. Like
okay.
if I'm pissed off, it brings me to a different level. you
Uh,
know um I believe in not rushing things but to flow, to
mm,
allow things to be what it is. um the questions that I had and I ask, and the watching that I did
okay.
took me away from the hamster wheel. Don't get me wrong. At the same point, do I need certain things from that hamster wheel, like say a job, especially? Yeah, I got that. But guess what? I know it's not the end all be all. I know that's not my true purpose.
Okay. Okay.
And that's what it was for me. The questioning of certain things and looking at the stipulations and the cause and effect, like, okay, if I do this like everybody else, am I going to get the same result, or my result might be dire?
Right.
And the being a lover of information and checking out my elders, like your Bobby Hemmett's, your Shahrazad Ali,
Yeah.
your Dr. Valentine, Polite, Sonetta, and so on and so forth. Like the Hebrew Israelites and stuff like that. I've pretty much ingest their information without actually ingesting their ways.
Okay.
So I am my own filter, and I aim to walk within the balance of left and right.
Ah. Hmm.
So that's why I stay out of the hamster wheel. And another thing, like I speak how I feel. Some people be like, "Oh, you wear your feelings and emotions on your sleeve." The
Nah.
greatest power that pushes forth is our emotions. I view the heart as the true brain.
Okay.
The consciousness is just a CPU that ingests and store things.
Hmm.
And that's what I view it as.
Okay, that's, that's a good analyzation of how you view things. And that's what I think people need to, because so many people's locked into this religious phenomena or syndrome, and everything is based on this book of this illusion, because if that's what it is, and they try to make that illusion be reality when it's not. Myself, for instance, starting out in the Christian world in the church, coming up as a child, raised in it, and it was, and I would say force fitted because I've always been a little rebellious, but I was always one that would challenge things. And my mama, tell me no stand. I told my place is the challenge, and I challenge everything, because I was taught never accept anything as face value. Do the research. And
Mm,
and when I became exposed to certain people like Dick Gregory, Barry Shango, Doc Ben, I ran across a guy by the name of Sekaka D, and they was all stuck in Egypt, right? And
mm,
I always knew there was something beyond Egypt. So I carried my studies beyond Egypt. And before, I always ask, well, what was before that? What was called before that? And as I traveled in the military, as I traveled as a truck driver, I was able to go into a lot of camps, and I was exposed to a lot of things. And like yourself, I had a chance to process it, run through my filter, and see if it had any valuability to it. So it made me the way I am. I don't believe nothing, King. I have to know. And then when I asked, well, no, because to believe, according to Webster Dictionary, accept something as truth without absolute proof. I need some documentation. I need something to go back and look at. And being trained by these guys, they made me don't just cause you say it's an apple, don't make it be an apple.
it's true. And a thing that I realized too, King, especially with this spell, this dialect, this so-called Latin language,
Mhm.
this terminology called English. I have never I've known any other language that will have one word that has 24 different meaning. So within this concept, you have a lot of individuals who say something and then turn around, oh, that's not what it means. No. If I say something, that's what it means. How you take it is on you. Period.
Okay.
Period.
Hmm.
And a lot of us is playing with those words and we're unaware of the destruction we're causing ourselves, because for one, unconsciously we're unaware that we create our own universe. See, we're too focused outside of us, looking that, oh, there's somebody in the sky. No,
No,
the breath was blew into you by your mother, therefore all life come through the woman. She's the portal for your life, right?
I
but
say.
yet but yet as men, we out here acting like we're bigger than the woman. Yes, we may not agree with every single thing and every notion and things that they actually do, but we're one, and one is whole,
Hmm.
right? And it's just our mind frame and how we view things as on balance.
It comes back to the system of indoctrination, or well, like we said, it's what school of thought. Where does school of thought come from? And that plays a lot on how you create your reality, or you shape your perspective on how you look at things. And I'm hearing what you're saying, and it's very true, because not until I seen my child born, watch that birth process, that I learned to appreciate that feminine energy, what that earth, because it's a seed in the earth. She is that earth, and that seed grows in that earth. And when that seed comes forth and comes out, and you see the process, it made me look at her in a total different light, because I had to really give much respect and honor to that feminine energy. And a lot of guys did not experience that. I said, when you see that happen, you won't feel toward the sisters the way you do.
and and peep this though, that was my Gregory Isaac moment. That was my awakening moment.
Yes.
because I used to hear, oh, you mold from clay, took a rib from you, and blah blah blah. But you see, when I saw how my children's mom gave birth to them, right? And
Hmm.
I saw that. I'm like, wait, either something is amiss or I've been lied to my entire life,
Right.
or we are so damn programmed we
There
cannot
you go.
see the beauty in front of us and what's really going on.
Right.
And I was talking to Queen yesterday, and what I was talking to her about is that we take trees for granted, right?
Mm.
And our air comes from the trees. We have never stopped to analyze a leaf or pay attention to the changes of the seasons,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
When the winter comes, the tree looks like it's dead but it's still alive.
Right.
March 19th, the beginning of the new year.
Hmm.
Yes, people, I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It's not January. It's not January.
Nah.
January is the 11th month.
Yeah.
Um so when it flows and that happen and the bees pollinates
Yeah.
the trees and those leaves open up the different colors and the fragrance that's expelled from these trees,
Hmm.
right?
Right. Right.
And these things have never said, you know what, humans treat me like shit, so therefore I'm gonna take a day off. The sun has never said, I don't feel like shining today,
Mm-mm.
right? We're so ignorant we even believe the sun actually sets.
Yeah. Come on. Because I miss
So so there's so much things, King, that we're that is available to us, but we don't question it. Like King always tell me, ask the why.
Yeah.
And analyzing my boys, I realized they ask why a lot, and that's
Yeah.
because they're uncorrupted
That's right. That's right.
at this particular moment. So that's one of my views.
Yeah. And every little child coming along will ask why. So and so why. And Dr. Cress Wilson, she did a good job. Always try to give that child a realistic, honest answer. Don't tell him, well, it just because I say so. That's not. Give him a logical explanation, or you sit down and try to show him. Because remember, you are shaping a young mind. One day they may be in a decision making. So those formative years is important. A lot of time we leapfrog those formative years with well you now you take time and show him. When I was coming along, the old people back then they used a lot of cliches and what they call cliches and parables, right?
Mhm.
Every time was selling his own bottom. When one day you're in the by and by, I want to know now before I get to the by and by. That was me. Well, why I gotta wait to the by and by? Why can't you keep? If you know, can you tell me now? When you get older, I don't need. I need to know now.
See, and think with terminologies like those, it's kind of asinine to me. And the reason why those terminologies are asinine to me is because nobody knows their true age.
Right? No.
You take them out of the system that tells them what
Mhm.
it is. Nobody knows their real age
No.
because they've changed the calendar system. Correct? You're
Yes,
aware of
sir.
this,
Oh yeah. Oh,
right?
most definitely. Yeah, they can jack with
They
it bad.
and they've changed the timing system as well. Correct?
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
But you were talking to me the other day, right?
Uh-huh.
And 28 days. What about the 28 days?
The 28
The
day cycle of the female alive going through the 28-day cycle. Yeah. And then when you start jacking with that, they add other days to it, and now your whole program is off. And the whole
so
world is out of balance.
so in actuality, your calendar should flow with the female cycle, correct?
Exactly on the lunar, not because the sun is stationary, but the moon
Mm.
goes through a full change process.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much has they actually screwed us up, King?
Uh, from 1962 up to now, they've totally thrown it out of whack. And what people don't realize, every so many years, the Earth make a shift on its axis, which alter. the speed of it and the time cycle. So a lot
Okay.
of people realize 2018, the Earth did a shift, and when the Chinese was not when the Korean was doing all of this uh, testing of these different bombs, it causes a paradigm shift in the vibration of the Earth, and it causes her to tilt on her axis, which speeds it up from 28.5 to 31 miles an hour a year. So it's a speed, so time is changing rapidly.
But nobody is tapped in. Nobody is tapped into to the earth.
No,
Nobody is tapped in or aware that everything you have within you, you walk outside, it's within the earth as well,
yeah,
right?
right.
So the thing that I'm gonna say to you and ask of you is, why is there a disconnect between my younger self versus your more mature self?
Well, the problem is because as an older person coming through the same phases, would be that we most time you find older men and young men in competition
Okay.
instead of being wise and guiding, they find themselves being competitive. And we got to remove the competitiveness out and get in our place to be able to instruct. You can't teach to instruct. So our problem is rather than trying to instruct young men, a lot of time you come in competition with young men, you know, and that's the problem, especially if it's a female around. It's hard to plow an old ox in a new ox because it won't work. Or put an old bull in with a new bull, and it just things go awry. So somebody had to get that from common sense. And most time, it takes a situation to make them come to the point where, wait a minute, hold up. Uh, I'm here as an elder to old men for counsel and young men for war. So let me get in my place and do my job. We're so busy trying to regain our youthfulness with all these different pills and shit trying to compete. Set your old ass down and do what you're supposed to do.
And isn't that the profoundness of a parent? A parent is to guide, not to dictate,
Right,
right? They're supposed to guide their children, give them all the answers or truth that to
that you've
pass forth
accumulated.
to them,
Right, right,
because the name you were given at birth, like the Jermaine, at some point I will no longer be here. My kings is going to continue my legacy, so
right.
I'm living through them.
Mhm.
But I feel like most of our elders and the younger generation is fighting for programming.
Yeah, but because it's remember this, we're in a capitalistic society, and everybody is trying to get their piece of the rock. Come on, man.
Hold on, King. Have you ever met the Joneses?
Well, which one? Oh, we got
the, the one the ones we're trying to keep up with.
well, yeah. Well, see, with them Joneses ain't the Joneses. We're talking about the Rockefellers and what's the name? Carnegie and Chase Manhattan and all these folks. You understand? You, but you realize that them folks has got a jump on us because the way they started out in the race.
Yeah, and that's just what it is. It's kind of
Yeah.
like Dane Calloway was speaking. He has a
Oh
he has
man.
a he has a documentary, and he was stating that he's like, is it really a race war, or is it an actual race?
Right.
Because if you look deeper, they're fighting for survival.
Totally. Like I told you the other day, Garner Ted Armstrong said in the 60s to a national network of what we call, um, can't call them say white folks, because ain't such thing as a white person, let's say albino. Let's say Caucasians.
Hmm.
He said if we don't do something with these numbers, the melanated people is going to outnumber us 20-1 within the next 20 years. Then Minister Farrakhan said that the stenographer says by the year 2025 or 2045, if you're not very careful, we will totally annihilate the so-called Caucasian. Well, they
Wait,
scared.
what's the word they use? They're gonna what? Screw us out
Yeah,
of existence?
right. Yeah, they're going
Okay.
to. The thing was a case of peanutitis. Uh, he said that when I talked to Scott Patrick in 1986 on my radio show, he was the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, right?
Hmm.
And I asked him what was their ideology and what was the problem that they have with people of color. You know, back then we're saying, and he said, well, our problem, he said, I'm being honest. He said that the black man is the only person that is capable of totally genociding us out through his penis. This is why we say that our women are protected and they treat them worse than anybody. But to keep themselves in existence, we try to keep her away from the black man. Well,
What do you say about the ones that actually don't believe that?
well,
Even though the truth is around them, and they really, from the Planned Parenthoods, from the systematic jails and school, because a lot of people are unaware that school is a oh man, it's like a jail. they're
okay.
they're they're programming you.
Well, let's go here. In order to control a nation of people, what three things you have to take in charge of in order to control it?
Education, land, and I think what it goes much of food and
You
currency and
just
stuff like
said
that.
it. You must change what? The diet.
Yep.
You remember the Lion King
Hmm.
with Simone and Puma and Simba?
Yeah.
Okay, when Simone and Puma saw Simba and they were scared, what did he say? Do we've got to change his diet because we're on his food chain.
Hmm.
So they told him to eat grub worms and roots, right?
Yeah.
And make him our friend. So when you change the diet of a people, you change the way they think and process information. So when they added soybean into our diet and took away things, it calcified a hypothalamus gland.
A pineal gland for those of you
Now,
that's
just
unaware.
because the hypothalamus is a little acorn that lays just below the pineal gland. And when you calcify, that's the one that affects your behavior, your reaction, the whole thing. So when I jack it up, come on.
Oh, and by the way, when y'all was laughing at them like they don't have no rhythm and this is that and the third, are you guys aware that theirs are calcified at the age of 12?
Yeah, I'm talking about so, but they had to find a way to get through that. So they started doing what?
They started playing
Experiment.
Danka Frankenstein, right?
Yep, they went back and started experimenting, taking blood and doing things. How do we get that soul, get that rhythm? For many years when I came along, the average so-called Caucasian says they walk like Frankenstein. They had no rhythm. They looked like zombies trying to do things. And we'd be dancing and doing, man, they'd almost have a heart attack. But when they changed the music, they also changed the diet.
400 hertz, right?
Yep. A440. They went from middle C, major C on the scale to A440. It went from natural to synthesized music, and they changed the whole vibration. In doing so, they altered the whole thing. Now you got them trying to dance us because everybody look like a copy of each other.
And it's crazy, and those are things that we don't look into. We're more fixated on getting along than standing out by ourselves.
And
I'm
that's
not
the thing.
saying don't live amongst certain people on the planet, but you got to take care of home first,
Well,
right?
put it home.
What is home?
You got. I'm hearing people of color arguing right now over Africa. Well, you ain't African, you ain't this, and they're not doing this study. When did Africa become Africa? And what year? And where did the name come from? Because before that, what was it called before it was called? I'm going because a lot of folks say go to Great Mother Africa, but you don't realize that the Negrotic people were here 2.5 billion years before the Caucasus showed up.
Um, it's I
I
feel
might
like
I might be out in left field, but we can document that.
I feel like we we tend to focus more on things that is not of us. And
Right.
we were talking about that last night, how we ingest other layers and other teachings of other people and make it our own. And in the midst of it all, we lose ourselves. So I look at us like the angels they tend to talk about in the Bible, saying the fallen angels, because for some like spooky reason, I feel like we have lost our actual selves. It's like we don't know who we are,
Well,
right? Because
yeah,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. You use the word angels, and what people don't realize, that book has been the books have done more damage than any book on planet Earth, and the translators of the book said so. Are you familiar with a book called "The History of the English Bible from the KJV to the NIV" by Jack P. Lewis?
Not familiar, King. Not, I'll
Let me
learn it.
get it, and I want to read a passage from it, because no, I got all that, because that was my big thing, because they used that book to encapsulate the minds of not just black people, but everywhere they go. That was their first weapon of deception before they brought the gun. They brought the missionaries in. They bring the, but they brought you that Bible first thing. And let me get Jack P. Lewis. Just give me a second.
It's amazing, man, and it's sad that us as a people fight more to pretty much aim for things that's outside of us versus looking ourselves in the mirror and realizing who we actually are.
Because we're taught not to look at ourselves. We're taught to look at ourselves based on this thing they call the Bible, unworthy, yes, filthy rags and all this, that, and the other. Man, my mama didn't have no filthy rags. You understand? My mama came together, my daddy came together. They brought in a warrior. They brought in a mind. I was able to come from that stratosphere that they call the Olaroon in ancient tongue, the 10th heaven, come down as an ascending master through the portals of her womb into this world to try to bring about change. But a lot of folks don't know. It's ironic that people, I was talking to one of the queens of the day, I think it's Shanae, and I asked her to do a hematology. What was her blood type, and how far did they trace her blood type back? And they said they was talking about the B type and the O type, and they went back before as over 300 million years. Boom. That says it. Anyway, let me get Jack P. Lewis here. I'm gonna kick my camera on so you can see the book.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's a book. I know it's a book, but these are the guys that put it together. It says the
English Bible.
from the KJV to the NIV, and the NIV is the worst translation that they got out there. These are the 52 men who was commissioned to translate the King James Bible. This is one of them. His name is Broad. It says the translators of the King James anticipated that the efforts would be criticized and that they must not have been disappointed. Thomas Fuller remarked, okay, it says, I'm going to get down to the part, it says the Geneva Bible, the Geneva Bible for the King James. It says, in fact, the Bible with the KJV text, but was the Geneva note was printed in the Holland in 1642. Among the most vocal of the critics was Hugh Brough, who, after examining the translation, declared that it was so poorly done that it would grieve him as long as he lived. He insisted that he would rather be tied between two wild horses and pull apart rather than let this fall in the hands of the people.
So he was against them actually
He said
putting out.
because the book was so badly translated,
Mhm.
you know, it was so badly translated that he was saddened that they even put the book on the market.
But
Because the vague people would not understand. And it was called the Book of Confusion for 300 for 300 years.
But the crazy thing to me is, right? It's funny, right? How everyone reads the same scriptures, but end up with a different answer.
You know why?
Please tell me.
They
I'm waiting.
using different damn translation. It's a translation, transliteration. I just showed you from the KJV to the NIV, and everybody got their own spin on it. You got the what is that? You got the Jerry Falwell. You got the Swagger edition. You got the TD Jakes edition. You got the Creflo Dollars version. The on and on and on and on, and then you got people in 1352, Carbondale, Wycliffe, the Geneva Bible, and so forth and so on. All of these were translations, and what folks don't realize, there was no chapter and verses in the first original books.
I feel like there is among the puppets beyond the
Oh,
people, the ones that's forcing the agenda. I feel like there's something higher above them, right? And I feel like they're puppets as well.
well,
Um,
beautiful.
the the thing with us as people, and we take we the people for granted, and
Mm,
we're unaware through connection, through a spiritual connection, because everybody is electric, right?
electromagnetic, yeah.
Right. So
Well, I would say
together,
maybe everybody, some of them ain't.
yeah, we know what it is, but you know what I'm
Okay,
talking.
right, yeah, I got
So,
you. Okay.
so together, if Baba comes to Jermaine and sit down, meditate with Jermaine, and somebody else come sit down, meditate with Jermaine. Say you get like 10, 12, 13, 14, how many people to meditate together. We fail to see how powerful that is. We aim for the external things, not seeing it's the internal and the connection. The greatest wealth within this capitalist society
Right,
is connecting
right.
with people. Go back, look at Bob Marley.
Yeah,
Look at Hendrix. Look at a lot of our blues jazz players. Look at Michael Jackson.
yeah.
Look at all these people, Prince and so on and so forth. It's the frequency that we give off and we flow upon that makes us who we are. And through that we can create magic. And I feel like they're utilizing the same magic on us. And I feel like they're more spiritual than us because they're using our shit.
Well, they're copycats. You
I
know,
get that.
they
But
copy,
if you're
and they're a good copy. But when the original come along, they got a problem.
I get that. No, when the original starts to activate and
Right,
ask question and think of themselves, it becomes a problem.
right.
When the original no longer follows the program, it becomes a problem. But
I
you got
say
to look at it. The reason why I said they're more spiritual is because the writer of the program is using what belongs to the original.
right.
They know your secret. You don't know your secrets.
That's why they spend big money and grants to go learn the secret. You know, they what the guy says. One guy was when he went to find out about our ancient mathematics system that runs the world. He got a Fulbright scholarship to go to Africa and study the divination system of the bush people in Africa.
But we're
And
primitive, right? I thought we were
they,
primitive.
they say they call it primitive, but actually it's a technology that's beyond the modern day.
But
I'm,
we're primitive, right?
yeah, right. But why you gonna go study them if they primitive? That's the word primitive is another word for original.
Oh man,
Originate,
the
you
same way
know,
antioxidant is another word for melanin.
right.
But we're gonna keep we're gonna keep going forward pertaining to that. It's it's sad. And another thing too, in order to get the world to believe the lies they're telling, they have to program their own people as well.
Well, it's called deception. Yeah, myth and deception. They take a thing. My mom always said it's hard to explain something you didn't do. So you try to fake it till you make it, right? And the problem with that is, you show us. Wait a minute, you didn't do that because I knew Baba. I've sat down with him, so I know you ain't the one behind this because I would watch the man do it. You know, and we've lost a lot of our creativeness because we're so busy trying to be first class citizens. We lose a lot of things chasing the illusion of grandeur, thinking that when you get that you'll arrive. You don't find an eagle trying to be a chi bird.
Nah, eagle know he's an eagle.
He knows he a bad boy. Now, the only thing he respects is the falcon. You know that, right?
Explain.
The eagle respects the falcon because he knows the falcon is the only bird that can outfly him and outmaneuver him and destroy him.
Even though he's smaller than him.
He traveled at 220 miles an hour, dead, a dead straight dive out of the sun. And the eagle knows
Wow.
that if that falcon get in that sun, he can't see him. By the time he see him, it's too late.
Mm.
Check him out.
And,
He,
and
he, he doing to a dead dive, and man, look, 220.
wow. I'm
Yeah,
gonna look into that.
look into
And
that.
then another thing I feel like we fail to see is the traumas through our emotions.
Right.
We are a people that, yes, emotions is good. Emotions is great at manifesting. Emotions is great at creating, utilizing creativity. But what emotions doesn't do is benefit you in times of war.
Nah,
Emotions cripple you.
that's right.
So the thing with us, we bite every single bait that they throw, but pay attention to an actual fish. An actual fish don't go after every boat bait that's thrown in the water.
Nope. Take a certain kind of fish to get him.
Exactly. So we have to we have to start playing the game and maintain our poker face. I've
Mm,
never heard them say we're going to war, but they show the enemy their hands.
no. I'm about to do
They're
that.
so they're so cocky they will sell the enemies their weapons and stuff like that, but they know what they know.
Right.
Us as a people have to walk more with our belief system versus speaking about it. We'll be on Facebook, your IGs, man, I'm effing this and I'm effing that. I'm at down the street at Bob's and da 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 da, and this is what's gonna take place tonight and da 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 da. 2 seconds later, you got an agent
Boom.
at Bob's.
They right there waiting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
know,
so
years ago, we was talking about this thing called Big Brother was coming. People say, well, I don't know about that. And now it's here. You know, they told us in Independence State with Will Smith about all these satellites and all these cameras. They told us back in the 60s that it was coming. Folks didn't believe it. Now it's here. You cannot make a move unless they know it. You know?
hey, King, I went
Yeah.
to I went to I went to Walmart, right? And I was in the line and I stood there and watched every time somebody stepped forward, a green box hit their face. It's like
Mm-hmm,
it's locked in because
mm-hmm.
if you study Walmart's security system, you understand that they has the same facial recognition system like the FBI does and the CIA has, right?
Number one,
It
Walmart's the number one lobbyist in Washington, D.C. They got more people up at the lobby for Walmart than Amazon. Shit. Yeah. Walmart is, and you know, people don't realize that. And they got a secret weapon, you know, and it's called subliminal seduction. You go through the door, they hit you with that beam. When that camera hits you, it also emits a frequency. And a lot of folks don't know why they do what they do. Man, come on, you been controlled.
Don't tell them that. They're oh me, I'm an adult. I'm in green card. I control my damn self.
Yeah, right.
Don't don't go punch that clock in the morning and see how much in control you are.
Shit. All
You
right.
got you got a boss, you got a manager, you got HR,
Mm.
you got the president of the company, you got your so-called supervisors, so-called team leaders,
Come
and
on
so
now.
on and so forth. So how much control are you? You're not even in control of your damn household because your kid needs you to elevate them, but he's looking at you like a punk because you can't teach him nothing. You're a role model that's not modeling your role.
Hmm.
My
Man,
views, my views, people, my
and
views.
you know, if you look at your views and ask and peel the onion back a layer at a time, you're right on point. You know. You know why? Because you're not on the what you call it on the wheel,
Program the hamster wheel.
the hamster wheel. There it is. You're not on the hamster wheel. You outside looking at the hamster just going around, ain't going nowhere. So what the like what the hell?
Uh, Here's a funny one, right?
Yeah.
Traveling on the highway, and somebody be like, "Oh shit, I'm late." If you're already late, why are you speeding? Why are
You
you
right.
aiming to kill yourself to get to punch somebody else's clock in and magnify somebody else's dream? You should use that as a stepping stone to not only stabilize yourself, but to expound and extend your covenant and your greatness.
Hmm.
Like some people been in the program so long, sometimes they forgot that the company they work for don't belong to them.
I've heard, man. Look, Bob, I'm glad you said that. I've seen some dudes been on the job, think they own the company. Matter of fact, I made a mistake one day. I was working for a company, been there about 10 years, and I was assigned to a certain truck, right? And
Hmm.
I went that day, man, where's my truck? The dude said, you don't own no damn truck. That's the company truck. And I had a snap. I said, you right. You sure right. You know what I did? I left to come and bought my own damn truck. You don't own the company.
Yeah.
You just a pawn or fixture for that company. So I started using this terminology. As long as a man control your paycheck, he control your destiny. My mother said, son, if you're gonna be a ditch digger, at least own the damn shovel. At least own the shovel. So you need to take your shovel with you, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. Like I've actually seen an interview with a Chinese brother that says by 2030 or 2040, 2050ish,
Yeah.
we're
Well,
like
eventually it'll be zeroed
so-called
out because of AI.
yeah.
Yeah, I heard him say that, but guess what? We ain't the only one gonna be zeroed out. It's gonna be a bunch of them zeroed out. And what we gonna do next? We're innovators. We you cannot zero us out. We are innovators. We'll find a way to become viable.
Fam, I've seen I've seen entire meal made out of bullshit
Come on.
and fed seven people.
Come on.
They remember they gave us that pork, right? And
Yeah,
eventually it was supposed to clog up our arteries, right? But they forgot the watermelon has a toxin in it that actually flushes, a laxative actually, not a
right,
toxin,
yeah,
a laxative in it that flushes your system.
right.
So they's wondering like, why these niggas ain't dying? Like, because as soon as they eat that pork, they ate that watermelon
Yeah.
and they
Man,
detox themselves.
we had so many ways of naturally with herbs and things that we would do it where they would do it. It didn't have the same effect on people like then they do now. You understand? I mean, everything is jacked up now. But like you were saying earlier, with our young people, with my wife called them hyperphonic people. They're not real because they're not thinking. We are emotional, and that is not our emotion. Even that is superficial. You think you are. If that can control the weather, what about you? You heard of weather modification, right?
Yeah, I know they got a machine down in was it North Carolina that actually create fake clouds and allow the rain
And
to fall.
they got one up in Alaska. It's large in 5 football fields with satellites. control the microwave beams. You know.
But it's funny, like you got some people talk about, oh, I got it from a book, so it's fact. Fam, you've been living a lie your entire life.
That book, the
That
one a while ago, that one.
yeah, edgy. It's not even just that. Like it's the same thing. Like even through the educational system, and it was crazy that I look up the entomology terminology of education, and it stands for child rearing, and everybody quick to tell you,
Ah,
oh, I'm educated, right? Oh, you're a
like the
child
word,
rearer.
like the word emancipation,
Yeah,
like
yeah. Oh,
emancipation.
so we have to either get an old English 1600 dictionary, a Spanish to English dictionary,
Hmm.
and an etymology dictionary, and a Black Law dictionary. These are the first books we should put in front of our children. Because a lot of us are so idiotic, like, oh, BC stands for before Christ.
Man, please.
No, it's
No,
telling you of the origin of where the word started and so on and so forth.
before the common era, right?
And that's why
Uh,
they say we
Rich say
can't
watermelon,
read.
watermelon seeds nurses the male prostrate gland. Thank you, Dr. Lamar.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Natural Viagra.
yeah, right.
That
Yeah,
that white part they tell you not to eat,
yeah.
natural Viagra. Come on, man. It's so deceitful, man. And believe it or not, there's a lot of kings and queens that are within the same place as I that's flowing and they're aware.
Mhm.
And what I've realized is they've done screwed up the adults so much they start aiming for the children.
That's what it. Well, that's the most group that spend the most money now because parents spend millions and billions of dollars on children. You know, and that was these so-called holidays come into play. You know,
Holidays, fictitious holidays.
fictitious. That's what they call hollow and not holy. These are holidays. You understand? Not holy days. These are holidays. Empty, ain't shit in them. But deception. You know, my queen and I laugh all the time. I don't go out at Valentine buying no flowers. See, we got flowers around the house. We grow roses and shit around the house.
But wait. A lot of them are pedophilic holidays and faggotry. Saint Valentine was what?
All right. What about Cupid?
Christmas. Come on, King. Christmas, King, is a
Yeah,
pagan holiday where men swap gifts with other men, beat their so-called wives, and have sex with other men. That is twisted. But we want our
folks
children to
don't know that.
celebrate that.
Nah, but a lot of folks don't realize that. But see, don't
It
realize that back in the day, a lot of those so-called plays, men dressed like women and they dressed up like women and they had these plays because women weren't involved in them plays, you know?
King,
Uh,
a bunny shits. A bunny do not lay eggs.
that's right. So how did he go from a fowl to a mammal during Easter?
And the crazy thing about it is the crazy thing about it is, man,
I
these
tell you
are these are all ritual days.
that they teach the children that lie. But tell you don't lie. But you living a lie every day. But tell your child don't lie, but you living a lie every day.
Oh man, you see how programming sick we are?
Yeah. I mean, just look at it. And then it's not hidden. It is not hidden.
Hey, wait, Rich said he's gonna Rich said he's gonna pray
Don't
for
do
us,
that.
but
Tell them don't do that.
you gonna pray for us. Nah, I need you to meditate for me, King.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't do that,
Because
Rick.
because a lion hunts the shit out of a gazelle, and that
Yeah,
gazelle is
man.
his prey.
Yeah,
Nah,
right.
don't pray, don't pray for me.
Oh man. No, we don't no, not like that. No.
Oh man, I pray to me. I pray to me. I go inside of myself. I call it
Mm,
meditation. I call it meditation.
right.
You know, within me, all things are created. Out of the darkness,
Comes the light. But
but what they wanna tell me that, hey, the light is more powerful than the darkness.
let's play too much of my white Jesus don't like black.
Oh, Rich, don't let me start. Your white Jesus actually stands for blacks, and your black actually stands for your white. If you want to speak in a status format, okay? I am I am original, aborigine,
Aboriginal.
okay? Copper color. My complexion matches the penny. There's a reason for that. That's not coincidental.
Yeah.
You say
But
he
a lot of
praying
our young
now.
people, I'm looking at this thing going on now, and they talking about taking down all of these Confederate flags and
What does
monuments,
that mean?
huh?
What does that mean? While they do all the rioting and the protesting and the kneeling
But they, but
out,
but you're not. But while you're doing it, they changing policies and laws behind the. That's a distraction right now. It's a major, and they're changing policies and laws. And when you come out of this, when the dust settles at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you know what's going to happen, right? How many laws was passed during the impeachment trial of Donald Trump?
a whole bunch.
Thank you.
I can't even
How
count.
many laws did they pass that when that because you know they wasn't going to kick him out, they wasn't going to remove him from office. It was all a forest
Propaganda.
propaganda, a political satire. Why we got all these other laws when it came out?
But peep this. It's like he's not playing on the same team as them.
Oh, he's not.
And they got us focusing on him,
And that,
right? But
that, that,
but
that,
he's
that is.
he's screwing them over too, because even today, if you pay attention to it, he just took the healthcare from the LGBT community. He don't believe in that.
Yeah, because
Which
people angelic Protestant Christian, right? Yeah, and
exactly.
evangelical. Now,
Yeah,
but how you have separated church and state when you got the evangelical calling the shots up there since Jerry Falwell came in? With he's dead and he's a hate now, but
king,
Jerry Falwell started that shit years ago.
king,
Uh,
king, king. It's a distraction.
that's
The
all.
real the real agenda. All of a sudden, you don't see these dudes was preaching vaccination for the longest. Like Gates was preaching vaccination, and a lot of people are unaware that his his wife
Yeah,
is is a part of the woman that created Planned Parenthood.
right. What's
She
her name?
married
Margaret. What's her name? Margaret something.
Margaret Singer. Margaret
Singer.
Singer.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
And she's related to her,
yeah.
right?
It's all
So
about sterilization.
the judge, the police, the health organization, the television organization, they all play a major role. They're all part of the same coin.
Yeah.
Now they use they bag of big words and give you a little 1200, and you like, oh man, that's my guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it kept a good it's like a concert. It's like a concert. Like,
A
man,
concert. A
yeah, yeah,
concert. Okay.
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, it's my views though. It's just my views,
Right.
my views.
And
You're
I'm
you're
just
free
throwing
to
up your
think.
views. Yeah, I'm throwing up your views because you right by now you're on point. Because I'm talking to a lot of young people, and the first thing out their mouth is either Pan African or they gone to the church.
I,
But
I, I love
nobody's striving to change the system. But you're talking about what?
the
Equality?
po- the policies need to be changed.
That's right. I told a guy the other day, I heard the same crazy stuff from Shannon Sharp. I'm going, come on, man. Shannon, look, man, until they change those 14th Amendment, the way it's written up, your studying the HR 40 don't mean nothing. HR 40 been around since 1989, and it still ain't never got out the house to the floor.
They re-signed it when Barack was in office.
Man, look, when Sheila Jackson Lee brought it back up, John Conyers started it out. You know, HR 40 is not is for the study of reparation. Man, how the hell you gonna get reparation when y'all was tied into the same shit? Excuse my friend.
So they gonna pay you, and then you gonna turn back around and pay them.
And like the dude say, those still tax dollars. You still paying. It's still your tax dollars. America
Hey
ain't
man,
got no money.
hey man, listen how twisted the system is. Peep this, right?
Okay,
So you're getting paid, right? Your payment is being taxed, right? Then you go to the store, your purchase is being taxed, right? Then then you go somewhere else, that's being taxed. Then you turn around and you pay them for paying a bill if it's late, that's getting taxed. And then
okay.
on top of that, everything is getting taxed. Your ass is getting taxed. I would love to use the word like we're all just getting a, no Vaseline.
No. Well,
No Vaseline.
answer me this question, King. Why is it they want you to bring your medical card now when you go to get your COVID test?
They want you
They
to
want
bring
you to
your
bring
medical card.
your insurance card when you go to get your COVID.
Oh, so they could charge you. It's not free.
Thank you. Thank you. One
It's
why it
not
was
free.
all free. Now all of a sudden, they want you to bring your insurance card, your ID and insurance card.
Your ID. Oh man, what are they talking about? The ID that's called the Eagle, or are they talking about your the thing that has your picture on it
The
that
thing with the
captured your?
picture on it so they can make sure they get the charge the right guy.
Oh, okay, the thing that captures your soul.
Right? Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm going like, but I thought it was free. Bring a picture ID and your medical card. What?
No, it's actually 7 grand.
Yeah. Wow.
If you look into it, and they said that a lot of people can't afford it.
Yeah,
Um,
but somebody got pay the pick just got to give it up.
we're giving it up. We're the one getting raw,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
Vaseline.
But
We the
no,
we the
no.
prostitutes.
Yeah. No. You know what I was thinking the other day, and I guess I was talking. Man, I might be talking to you. Other night, Gabriel, man, Celeste, and all, we was talking about slave indentured servitude, right?
Hmm.
Okay, and he said the indentured servant was those that had a contract with a particular company or owner, right?
Hmm.
And then the slave is doing the same thing without a contract, right?
Hmm.
So what do you call a guy to go and fill out an application on the job, agree to work for a certain amount of wages, sign the application, and go to work? What is he?
Oh, chattel. Oh, slave. Oh,
Indentured
indigenous
servant?
worker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indentured servant. Yeah,
The same thing. The same.
same thing.
It's the same thing. It's just different wording.
Yeah. So now it's called employment rather than indentured
Yeah.
servant. Slave is called employment, unemployment,
Yeah.
employment. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it still means
And
labor, right?
yeah. And what do they do? Right. They tell you to bring your social that the Social Security office told you never to give up. Right.
Right.
So are they really paying you, or you're paying yourself?
You're paying yourself.
Okay. That on another note, my views. I'm
Right.
stressing this. My views. I don't know nothing.
Nothing. My question again is why do a baby, as soon as he's born, get a social security card? Because before, years ago, you had to be 13 years old to get you had to get a social security card. You had to be 13 years old. Why is it that when a child's born now, they put his footprint on the birth certificate, the next thing they get is a social security card? Why?
Because they're all bonds. They're legal. They're all bonds,
Right.
and
He's born into
he's
debt. He's already a
yeah,
slave. Already. He's
yeah,
already been indentured.
yeah. And that's why all the names is capitalized, and that's why at your social from your birth certificate has a QSIP number.
Yeah.
And if you pay attention to the money, it has the letter, whether
Mhm.
it's A, is connected to one of the 12 reserves.
Right.
But what do I know? It's my views. My views.
What do we
I
know? Just what I've been exposed to.
I feel like us as copper colored Aboriginal people need to deprogram ourselves. Like we need to pinch ourselves or slap yourself or run into the damn wall just to wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
In order to see what's going on around you. And the thing is, we're too complacent. We're always crying for help
And
when
who
we
you
can help ourselves.
You can't fight in bed too, huh? You fighting the bed
Hey,
and you begging.
hey, exactly. And the crazy shit about it, like everything we do, fam, is different. Like we even make love barbaric.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Who taught you your maneuvers?
Mm-hmm. You know the
My
funny thing about
views.
I was watching that thing, of Wall Street. You know that hotel they was in, that big high rise they was in.
Hmm.
Next time you see it, look at it, it says Trump Towers.
Yeah, that was in New York.
Yeah, it's in the movie Trump Towers where they was at when they was making all this money.
Hmm.
Going like wow. But anyway, in order for the Aboriginal people, the indigenous people to do anything, you're going to have to find a way to create your own self identity and quit copying the identity of the oppressor. I want that
I'm
to
sorry.
say,
I'm not saying that's what you should do. Not saying that's what you should do. But I haven't seen one church burnt yet.
well, I'm trying to tell you now, they ain't gonna be, you ain't seen no stuff break down when they start doing it. Now, like I said before, I'm gonna say it again. They putting all these monuments down, but I ain't seen nobody go in there snatch that Caesar Borgia off the wall and take him out of the church.
Wait,
Leonardo da Vinci's picture and take him out. I ain't seen none of that.
wait. What about the obelisk? Do they know what the obelisk is?
The George Washington, the Washington Monument erected penis.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
wonder if they know what the obelisk is, and the
yeah,
obelisk is on every church.
yeah, at the top, which meant man rule, the penis rule.
Mm,
Yeah, that's
just
what
my views. I
that,
don't know nothing.
that's what it means that the penis rule in here.
And Bernie Mac, I'm not scared of you, mother. Yeah.
Now, I ain't scared. I love those Bernie man. But see, that's
Oh
the
man.
problem now. We see these things, but we don't ingest or understand what it's doing to us psychologically. It was asked
Yeah.
one time of Pope Pius, why are there images in the temple when the book plainly said not to have? You know what he said? To teach the ignorant masses what to worship.
You
Come on,
can't you can't
folks.
have you can't have two masters. You can't
Yeah,
you can't be aligned. You can't be aligned with yourself and
and
then
lie.
want to go serve something else.
But the ironic thing is, check this out. You got the tablets on the temple. Why do they say, "Oh, Hail Mary, Mother of God"?
But but
Hail Mary, Mother of God, bless the fruit of thy womb. So now
but
God's not a mother.
but you got to pay attention to King.
Okay.
The enlightened secrets is the woman. 90
That,
degree 90 degrees 365 is the circumference of her actual what?
okay. Come on. The
What?
pyramid, the sacred
The
pyramid.
of her vaginal.
You're right. The sacred pyramid.
The vaginal, the
Right.
vaginal.
Yeah,
This that y'all think is satanic. The vaginal.
you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the secret. They know more about your stuff than you do about your stuff.
Wow.
And they get like, oh, Baphomet is evil. He's devil worshiping.
Man, you
He's
better watch.
masculine and feminine energy.
That's
So
what it is.
all dudes running around talk about, oh, I'm a man. Oh, you got feminine energy inside of you.
Yeah.
X and Y. You put
Yeah.
them together.
Yeah. Have you ever read the
True.
Satanic Bible?
The satanic, I haven't purchased it yet. I'll
You-
purchase it off of Amazon.
Please do. I tell everybody, get the spookism out and get the book. Get
But
the
the crazy thing is, King,
huh?
they don't know what Satan means.
I
They
know
don't know Saturn,
it. Right,
sun worship,
right.
um under the god of the underworld. Everything they tell you to run away from is what you need to draw to, because that's your true spirituality.
That's
From Greek mythology, go back. That's your mythology.
mm,
You're the originator of everything. But what do I know? It's just my views.
well, history. Their story and their so-called elite tells you the same thing. You know, Doc Ben said that what they call the Book of the Dead is called "Come Forth by Day and by Night." Uh, and guess who wrote it? E. Wallace Bud. Now, what do Bud know? A white boy. What does Albert? I mean, when it's Godfrey Higgins know? Uh, Church Ward. All these guys that wrote these so-called studied works of Egypt. You know. Can you name me anybody can give you an Afrocentric cosmology how the world got started?
You gotta have sex, King. I'm gonna stop. Pay me no mind. Pay me no mind. We have fun on here too. Pay me no mind.
I mean, everybody I meet in the first place they started is Adam and Eve. Can anybody give me a story other than Adam and Eve, a cosmology how the world got started?
Let's talk about Lilith. Who is
Um,
Lilith?
yeah, the first creative feminine energy that was balanced, that came back as a serpent and tricked Eve.
Oh, so there was a queen before her.
Yeah, but see the thing about it, they don't tell you that she enlightened the other one what the deal was when it deal with this man, right? And in it
Uh,
ironic, you got Adam in chapter 1 and chapter 2. So how old was Adam in chapter 1? How old was he in chapter 2?
Wait, what Adam are they really speaking about? Is the Adam
Adam,
within you, or
18
the
more
Adam
years.
within? Is it Adam or Atom? Which is it?
And that's the play on word. A lot of folks think it's Adam and it's Atom.
Yeah. And what is an atom?
Right. Our people need help bad.
They
What is
need more than help. They need an ass whipping.
no field revolution started with banks and White House is in attack? What? New Oh man, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Our people, they and I'm so tired of God doing this and God doing it. Give me a name of God, please.
Wow, you turn that word around, you get dog, right?
We know where it comes, but you know, Ramus and Rumulus sucking on the wolf tit. That's where they are. But they flipped it. The God they flipped it, and these folks running at it like a. My Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, y'all need to check your manuscript. You've been had.
Oh, don't tell them that, man. They'll show up
Seriously,
at your house. They'll
I,
show up at
I
your
don't care.
house.
They better come. They better come correct. I'm serious. They better come correct.
Oh man. Hey King, as
Uh,
an elder, right? As an elder, what is it you believe that us as the younger generation can do with or can do without?
First of all, get rid of that thing belief. Start knowing and get rid of religion. Know thyself. First of all, like you said, when they say, "Man, do you know yourself?" And the first thing they're going to do is give you their name and complexion.
Oh, I caught Shanae with that. I was like, who are you?
Yeah.
She's like, Shanae. I'm like, no, I don't need your title or
No,
what your parents gave you. I need you to think about this. Who are you?
you get that label, put it aside, and give me a breakdown on of who you are. Who do you say you are?
Are you the one that's moving around as avatar, or you're the one that's aware?
Mm.
Or you're the one looking through the eyes, or you're the one observing the looking of the eyes?
What did she say?
I won't let her answer that when you talk to her.
Okay.
It's easier to say I answered I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm discovering me
And
on a
yeah,
daily basis. every
Every
single
day.
day.
You pulling back a layer
Exactly.
here, pull back a layer there, and you examine that layer, and you know,
Absolutely. Because I've been programming and whitewashed,
yeah.
and mine screwed pretty much. I was told I'm a nigger. And then I found out I'm an Aboriginal man. I'm copper colored. I'm the native.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, but wait, you came from Jamaica. When they took the land and dispel a lot of y'all, a lot of them ran to the Caribbeans.
Mm,
Hey
man.
man, everything is fraudulent, King.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's there's
I keep telling, well, what was it called before then? What was it called before then? Well, okay, how far back can you go? You know, that's what I love to do with people. I said, how far back can you go? Tell me how far back can you go that you can document, and don't
it's
tell me
not
after
even
you. Don't
it's
please
not
don't.
it's not even just that, King.
Mm,
When you look up a word and you get the definition, look up the definition as well.
yeah,
Play with the words in the definition.
critically analyze the word that creates the definition.
And why is it called definition?
Right.
Hmm.
Whoa.
What are you deaf to?
I have some friends of mine that are in the Masonic order, right? And I asked them,
Hmm.
why do they stop at the 33rd degree? Because the 33rd degree is an honorary, the 32nd degree water free. So, and the next thing is what they say, the 33rd is substitute knowledge. And what they substituted with.
Better yet, why isn't it that ether is on the periodic table, and why we only believe that we only have four elements when the
Right.
breath is a part of the elements.
Well, there again, that miseducation.
Okay.
Man, there's so much out here we need to know. You know, I have some friends running around now. They Greek so raw, they speak no Greek.
Oh man, it is
Man,
it is crazy. Isn't it funny? The deeper they dig, the so-called blacker it gets.
man, Sir Godfrey Higgins said that. He said, man, he said he got so mad and pissed off in a book called Anacalyptus. I studied back in '92. I was doing a lot of stuff on him, and he
Mhm.
said they paid him to go out and find the origin of the so-called Caucasian man. He said the more he did, the darker it got. He started cussing. He said, "Fuck it."
But you gotta like let me use one of my brother's favorite words. You gotta be an
Ah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, you gotta be in awe.
yeah.
Because first of all, if you weren't deemed as important as you really are and as powerful as you are as a copper color, a so-called black man, or whatever, right?
Mm.
Why is it they spend billions of dollars to make sure that you're miseducated, poisoned by foods, deprogrammed through these frequencies of radio and TV? What do
Mm.
they know that you don't?
Oh,
And this is an ongoing thing.
yeah. It didn't just start.
Why they separate you from your female,
Can I ask
turn
you a
you
question?
get
Can I ask you a question? As a
go
young man,
ahead, King.
why do people think that the red man was here before the black man got here? When did
Why?
when did the first red man show up on on Turtle Island? Now I heard Dan Calloway talk about this, but nobody tell me when did the first red man or group or clan or whatever arrive in the place we call Turtle, and how did they get here?
In Georgia?
How did they
I
get
don't
here?
know. I don't know that off the top of my head.
Yeah. When did they get in? How did they get it? Because they say, well, the African came over on a boat and they came around by the way of the Cape through south. But how did the so-called red man get on this place? And when did he get here? And how did he get here? Did he get a
Oh,
spaceship? Did they put up? Did they orbit in here? I mean, how did they get
or
in here?
did they travel under the ocean? But yeah, okay.
I mean, how? How?
I have no clue. I
Yeah.
can't even answer you that. But to take it on to talk about that ship right? Because they like to use that the currency, the
Hmm.
maritime law that
Right,
got everybody bound to water. You getting played on land and so on and so forth, right?
right.
I wonder if a lot of people in Mississippi are aware that that river runs straight back to the Nile.
I'm afraid they don't. I mean,
And
how do they know that the name was changed to Mississippi?
and here's another thing. How come a so-called race or hybrid, right, that love trophies cannot show you one ship that Columbus came on?
Mm.
They love trophies. Where's the ships?
You mean and they have in some museum propped up, huh? Nah.
Where? What museum?
Yeah.
They would have been spoke about it, right? They got you. They got a museum in
Well,
France
but the
that they got you.
best they love trophy. Someone wanted to know a bill. Where's the
They could
ship
probably,
that Noah built? Had all them animals on, all them folks on it, and
yeah.
I mean, can you? Because I mean, I know that that ship that he built supposed to had so many animals on it, and so much,
Hey,
and where is it at?
hey, he was the first animal tamer, man.
Had to be. This
He's the
man,
first
this
animal
man
tamer.
did something. Snakes walked up on their own and came two by two. And some came. So,
But
what was?
wait, but wait, but wait, King, wait. Why would they come two by two if you don't need a feminine and a masculine?
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. They came two by two, and they walked up on there together. You understand? Everything. And then I want to
Wait.
know who was in charge of the shit cleanup.
And wait. That's not it. Let's keep going. Let's keep having some fun. Oh, when these wild animals got hungry, what did they eat?
Yeah, right, right. They all
Fruits
didn't
and
eat.
berries, right?
Yeah. So who was in charge of that of the dietary system? They was on a fast for a year, right? Rich they still praying for.
Oh man, this is really fun. Oh
I'm
man.
trying to figure it out because we believe this story and we tell it to our children and they supposed to believe it, but yet you cannot tell me how he pulled it off.
Hey, but wait. They 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 made you a slave, right?
Yeah.
And you so-called got free from being a slave, right? But the mental shackles
Mm-hmm.
are still on you
Right.
because they're no longer whipping you. You're doing it yourself.
Except for happy in captivity.
Boy, I sure wish Master comes back. Oh, that's Eddie Griffin. I'm quoting Eddie Griffin.
Yeah.
Oh man. Greetings, kings, greetings, queens. I see
Yeah.
you, Rich. I see you, Tashika. I see you, Shanae. I
Yeah.
see you, Keiko. I see you, everyone. I see you, Renee.
What?
I see you guys. Greetings.
Greetings. Yeah, Lafayette. Just having a little fireside chat.
It's a
But
barbaroon conversation.
I still ain't figured it out. And I heard Dick talk about it and didn't want to talk about it. We still ain't figured how that guy pulled that off. And only
While
one
you were asleep.
only one window in the boat now. So what they use for ventilation? I know they had to break wind. So all that methanol had to be in there. So
Oh
what was the
man.
process?
Was that really something that really happened, or were they were paraphrasing, or they talking about parables?
Uh,
Because like
According to Jewish mythology, they say it's all metaphors, allegories, and dogma. It never happened.
yeah, what Jews is
That that
Jews real? Is
that
Jews
that
real?
that'll be asking no because you can't write the word Jew in their language. Ain't that a shame?
Wow, the J
Yeah,
didn't exist, right?
Huh?
you taught that. You taught that the J didn't exist, right?
It does not exist. Anybody can look up that, and you can go into the Bible in the Jewish called Alabayat. You can't write the word Jew in their language.
Huh.
Really?
So
If
so
you look
there's no so there's no Jermaine. What is my
at
actual name?
we Yaremia,
Yaremia. I like that.
Yaremia.
That
Yeah,
sounds sexy. Ladies, start calling me Yaremia. That's dope. I'm about to change the name again to that. That's fire.
yeah,
That's fire.
yeah. Because if you look at the 22 letters, those letters that code make up the letter JEW, Israelites, you cannot write it because there's no letter that form it without a
Wait,
nick.
where they get 26 letters of the alphabet from?
22. When they went in and put the vowel system in it, it ain't but 22. And the 20 letters, 22, everybody got lined up with our 22 chromosomes that's in the indigenous people, not the 12, but the 22 that's within our makeup.
Wait, so what Biblios actually portrays the 22 letters in the alphabet? What Biblios actually
Uh,
portrays that?
Psalms 119,
Okay. Okay.
Psalms
And
119.
what book again? Not I'm saying what Bible for those that don't understand what
Any,
Biblios means.
any King James Bible that has the book of Psalms in it, Psalms 119, those 22 verses, those 172 verses, broke by eights, each has a letter in front of it, which don't belong in the book no way, but it's in there, so you know what how it's written. How it's written, you can't write neither word Israelite or Jew in it.
Hey, look at this. Hey, Rich, it was crazy. I had a talk with my mom today, King, and she said, "We are God. We are the creator."
Right.
I was, whoa. She's growing. She's growing. I was like, whoa.
Beautiful.
And this is a queen that fought me and her be butting heads when it comes to the Bible. She's like, you act like you did it, man. I love her, man. Like when she's like, what? I'm like, she's growing.
Yeah.
You know, started in here.
Right.
If you want to change anyone, you start in here,
Gotta change the.
not outside of you.
Yeah. But yeah, I tell them that's what I tell a lot of so-called. And I was Hebrew Israelite. The word Kohen that means a teacher, a father, instructor, a rabbi. I was all that. Then I was going through the letter, and I said, "Wait a minute, I can't even write this. None. Even when you try to change it right, it won't fit. Not without Niquidos. If ain't no Niquidos there, I said, how you get this Yisrael and all this stuff? Isis, Ra, and El. That's three gods rolled into one. Isis, Ra, all the Egyptians, and El is Canaanite. And El is the enemy of the God Yah, according to the book that they follow, the Torah or the Tanakh. So now we got a problem.
Hey, King.
Hmm? Houston, we got a problem.
Oh man.
And I guess we get one of those more Ray want to dialogue me on that. And I have to show him in this book that he's all fake. I got a question for you. You ready for this?
Go ahead, King.
Most Hebrew Israelites tell you that the Negro or the African, the indigenous man is the Israelite, and that Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, lays out all the curses and things that are going to happen to him, including what it says about being put into slavery, right?
Mm-hmm.
I challenge him on that. Explain to me, do you have a book handy?
No, I don't. I'm honestly, I don't keep those things around me.
Well, it's good to have some alternative around because 4 billion people believe in that book called the King James. And the only way to get them to see the light, you have to show them in their book that they miss them all. Like I do the Muslims, it's in your book. It says, "Old children of Israel," not old Muslims. And Surah Al-Baqarah 43, section 5, verse 43. It says, "O children of Israel, call to mind." And same thing is in
Um,
Hosea 3. I mean, Amos 3. But
what
anyway,
is Israel? What is Israel?
it ain't real.
Expound upon that.
Is it real? No, it's not real. It's a question. Is it real?
Oh, oh, you're asking me if it's real.
No, no. You say, what is Israel? I say, it ain't real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey Queen, you came when we're about to
Wrap it up.
wrap it up.
No, but I mean, you're placing these illusions and these words that somebody done taught us or told us. We believe some so-called scholar, some so-called scholar have not
Hey,
done research, and you ask him this question, he can't tell you.
hey, that's why they created the IQ, right?
Oh,
To
well,
level the playing field.
who created it? Who created this thing called an IQ?
Oh man.
They did.
For what purpose? For
Who
what
keep
purpose?
the so they can keep up, so they can say that they're smarter.
Well, they can't keep up because they're about 3 billion years behind.
Mm,
That's why they need y'all to step up and bring forth what y'all need to bring forth so they can copy it and implement some
I better
more.
have my 10
It's crazy because Bobby Hemmett said it. Bobby Hemmett said, "Yo, everything that they're using belong to us, right?
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
And they're waiting for us to create something more. They're waiting for us to go beyond, so they can copy it again.
man, look,
Uh,
I love it.
Anything they tell you that is new and it's a so-called discovery, somebody did it before them. It's not new.
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
A research is not a research because somebody have researched it already.
Yeah, this is a research.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
A queen,
Yes,
how you feeling?
I'm feeling okay.
Awesome,
yeah,
awesome. Bobby, you got any question for her since she showed up late to class?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, all right.
I'm all right. I'm all right. Well, look, let me share something with you guys because y'all would, because we've been talking about it in the class just to kind of throw this out here.
Share
The
your
book that I'm,
views.
the book, excuse me, the book that I'm reading right now, which is a book called by Ian Van Zant. Ironically, this particular chapter in chapter 20,
What's the name of
she had, is called A Black Woman's Healing in Progress.
the ah?
Yeah. And in chapter 20, she felt like that somebody had put a root on her, right? Right. And so she went to this woman who was Santeria.
Uh-huh.
Aha. And so as she was talking to her, she said, yes, somebody does have something against you. She said, but your ancestors are calling for you to be a Yoruba priestess. She told her, she said,
What?
in order for you to change your pattern, she said, you have to go inward. She said, you must study. You must do everything that I'm asking you to do. And, she was telling her about the candles. She was telling her about the meditation, um, and everything that she told her. She said, your life is getting ready to change. She said, everything that you deem as a negative, she said, you must stop being so stubborn and follow your first mind. Your first mind is your spiritual self trying to speak to you to on a higher level.
Mm-hmm.
And ironically, that is what I'm reading in this book. And so it goes through the whole process, and it's so funny because what we're studying and what we've been talking about all is that's going on in my life right now is all coming together. From Yeah,
Question.
Every
What year was the book written and written by who?
it's the book is written by Iyanla Van Zant. Is actually her true story, her life story. This
And
is her journey.
okay, what year is the copyright on it?
I don't know, but if y'all hold on, I can go get the book real quick.
Please do.
Sure.
Please
All right,
do.
hold on. Yeah, I'm still here. Y'all talk. Y'all talk. I'm coming back.
And I'm with you. I'm with you because I got a question.
Hey King,
Uh,
it's everything that they told us not to gravitate to is everything that we need to go into. And it's kind of like what you said. They have you running from the darkness, chasing the light when you're supposed to walk towards the darkness,
that's right. That's right.
right?
Okay.
You know, and we don't get that. We
Okay.
keep running from
Okay.
ourselves. Go ahead, Queen.
All right, I'm back. I ran too, but
I can tell.
le- all right. Let's see. The copyright for this book is 1995.
Thank you. Say that again.
1995.
Do you know when she got initiated to the priesthood?
When?
She is already a priest.
Yes, yes, yes. Because
Got
it
a,
told her that she had to be, in order for her life, for her to see the shift that's supposed to happen, because her ancestors have been beckoning for her
she had
to,
been the ancestors a long time ago for the dollar bill when she got it with Oprah.
yeah.
She don't talk nothing about Ifa, about her initiation, none of that. She don't talk about none of that. And her Baba Lao lives in Florida.
Wow.
It's
She wrote
crazy, right?
she wrote a book called Jambalaya. Hold on, let me get the book.
and I
That's
see,
crazy. Yeah,
and
this is.
and I see this going to go to a 2 hour stretch. Let's go. Let's go. I love it.
But this book is so good. So when I when I did the screenshot on our call, that came from this book. And I thought that was so powerful. I was just like, yo,
It's
this is
funny.
exactly what we've been talking about, what we've
It's
been
funny.
studying.
I watch her, right? And I think
Hmm.
there's something I think there's something off about her because because Oprah is when people started gravitating to her, right?
Right.
But when she broke out on her own, a trajectory changed. It's kind of like she had a muzzle on her.
Exactly. And so she's not really, once again, she's doing the same thing that she's been doing the whole time in this book, to be honest. And that's really stagnating her growth because of what it appears to everybody else. Because she's trying to appeal to the masses.
Hmm.
And when you appeal to the masses, that means you're going to water yourself down. You're going to dumb down one way or the other,
But you got to
you
look.
know.
It's for
Hmm.
me, it's substance over quantity. Quantity
Exactly.
rise and fall as quick as it rise,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Substance is gonna be here forever. It will never change. And you're gonna have those that don't like you, just not to like you, and there's gonna be those that ride for you,
Hey,
that's
man,
supposed to
how
be
y'all doing?
with you.
Yeah.
You
Girl,
know how it
you're
goes?
cooking up a storm.
Yeah,
Girl.
that's absolutely the truth. And that's probably why we can see, you know we can see the shift, because it's like, she's not completely walking in her divine truth because of, trying to appeal to the masses.
That's
And
that's that's kind of like the women of society, right? They're not walking in their female self.
hmm
Yeah.
yeah.
I apologize. I'm trying to find the book, but I've got it. It's called Jambalaya, and it was copyrighted back in she was this book was copyrighted 1985.
Oh, it's 1985.
This is 1985. So I got initiated in 1988, and
Uh-huh.
she got initiated right along after I did. And her Baba Lao was down there in Florida, and he's
Hmm.
a white guy that put out quite a few books. Matter of fact, the book called Eli, one we're studying about the sixth position of the conscious and all that. It's your Ori,
Hmm.
Tutu Ori, Uri Oburiku, et cetera, et cetera. He wrote
Hmm.
that and he initiated her back during that time. And she strayed away because there wasn't a lot of money in it and popularity in saying that I'm an EFOP priestess, right? Because nigga holla
Mm.
voodoo, they started running, right? So she
Mm-hmm.
made it off this middle ground, and that's why she's the way she is right now. The reading didn't miss, and I would love to know what the reading was when the priestess did her reading. What Odu came out of the daily goons when they read her, tell what was going on with her.
Well, the book says it.
The book
It
says
doesn't say what the yeah, this book that I'm reading, she tells her whole life.
she said what Odu came, what Odu
No,
felt.
no, it didn't say anything about the Odu or the casting of anything. It didn't. Yeah, she didn't reveal that in the book.
But
Because
that's the thing.
Hmm.
go ahead.
I like I said, I was telling Shay that I've watched a couple of videos like when she started with Oprah,
Hmm.
and I knew that there was something off about her because she was different then and she's different now. It's like she's fighting with herself.
She is,
Hmm.
and I know she
This
quit wearing her E day on her left arm.
wow.
She supposed to wear that.
And
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Queen. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut in.
no, all I was getting ready to say was that she is fighting the whole time. She
See,
is fighting in this book.
nobody likes
I
being
mean,
hungry.
yeah,
Ain't no, you don't get rich in this.
Know thyself.
Yeah,
know thyself. That's
so
it.
tell so so for a telly roll.
Hey,
Yeah, this is
hey,
interesting.
hey. So as an elder king,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna close the
All right.
show.
All right.
I know earlier you said put down religion and you mentioned something else. What is it you can bring forth now to allow me as a younger king to tap in and have an impact not only on my generation but the present generation to come?
I would say to you, young king, maintain what you're doing, increase your awareness of what you're trying to obtain, and those young soldiers you got around you, those two young men, be a strong example of them what it is to be a king, to walk among these sheeps and wolves. That sounds a little crazy, but you already off the hamster wheel, you know. So, you know, don't get swayed into the illusion of the grandeur of popularity. Maintain your who you are and keep growing. And you're on a good path. On a good path, you know.
Oh, I'm a Rich Lamar correct that. I'm on a good flow. We
On a good flow,
pats are
all right.
mecha- pats are
But, but
pats are
don't think about that
mechanical.
flow. I want you to soar because on the flow, about to try to short circuit your flow. I want you to soar like that eagle, you know. Ain't gonna
That's
Yeah.
bother that
it.
falcon. Ain't gonna bother that falcon, but soar like that eagle. You understand?
And I soar like the eagle and move like the falcon.
That is,
That'd be
yeah.
let's go.
There you go.
That falcon
Queen.
out. Check that falcon out,
Yes.
man.
Queen. What would you
Yeah.
tell the females
Yeah.
of present day to help them along to get out of this rut that they're in, the fighting amongst their masculine side, meaning
Yes.
meaning meaning us
Hmm.
and so on. What would you say to them?
Mm. The one thing that I would say is that, you know, as black queens, as queens, queen mothers, queen sisters, we've got to start with self first before we start pointing fingers as to what the king should or should not be doing. Um, we have to start focusing on rebalancing ourselves, rebalancing our priorities as the positions that we carry and how we're supposed to navigate. I think one of the main things that we do sometimes is that we want to play both roles and we wanted the man to be at our beck and call out of convenience, and instead of allowing them to step into their role and support them in their role, we have each other's back. We're side by side. We're standing side by side with our kings, just as our kings are standing side by side with us as queens. And I think once we start respecting each other's contribution
Yeah.
to society and this universe, I think we'll start regaining our balance. But until then, it's going to always be chaos. We're going to always be fighting amongst each other instead of lifting each other up. I think once we get to that point, the reality of seeing each other's value, I think that's when the shift would change. But we've got to respect each other's position in this universe and what we bring to the table.
Very well stated. And for me, I'm gonna end with the closing like this. Um, Out of every woman came a man. Let me correct myself. Out of every female came a male, right?
Hmm.
And we're balanced. We are perfect. Society taught us not to be perfect. It taught us how to be rigid. It taught us how to run on that hamster wheel. Recently, I've learned from Baba that we're right-brained, not left. So we've been programmed and beat up so much we forgot who we actually are,
Hmm.
and we have to look at it common sense wise. Why is it they spend so much to keep us at the level that we are? What are they afraid of? Why do they kill us? Why do they poison us?
Yes. Yes.
Why do they program our frequency? Why they aim to control our very breath? We got to ask the why. We're so focused on using why in a negative aspect, like why this happens to me, why am I going through this? Use the why in reverse. Why am I so powerful?
Hmm.
Why am I so great? Why am I so beautiful? Why am I so wealthy? Right? And dig
Hmm.
deeper. Don't look at these words on the surface. Aim
Yeah.
to find the true purpose behind these words. Because you are great. You're greater than what they told you. You are. You are powerful. Out of you came a life. You blew breath. So stop settling for last place.
Yeah.
Stop being an option. Study thyself. Elevate and know what is it you know and believe it. Do not fight to actually convince me. Because what that tells me is you don't know yourself if you're aiming to convince me.
Hmm.
A person that's aware and within their knowing don't fight for nothing at all. They don't even compete. If you know it's a game, do you still play? Ask yourself that question. And with that being stated, gratitude to all of you to inquire about the lives, our lives. Send me a friend request at King Jermaine. Like and subscribe on YouTube at MEN-talRollaDeK. On IG, follow at MEN-talRollaDeK. On Twitter, follow at MEN-talRollaDeK. And for those of you that's unaware what MEN-talRollaDeK stand for, please be advised. It's balance. The meaning of it is balance. Without balance, you fall for everything. Without balance, you continue to be rigid. Without balance, you're walking around, but you're dead. Without balance, you don't know who you are. And with that being said, love, prosperity, elevation, pure bliss to you all. And recharge. We out.
We out.